Good afternoon, everybody. Today we have South African defender for New Mexico United, Ethen Sampson. Ethen, how are you today?
I'm good, and yourself, man?
I'm doing good. To start off, I want to thank you, for accepting our invitation. You're a professional player. You have family, so I thank you so much for taking your time out of
You're
your day
welcome,
doing this
man.
for me.
It's a pleasure to be here, man.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I appreciate it. To start off, Ethen, if you could explain to us, how was your upbringing in Mitchell's Plain, South Africa?
In South Africa, some of the parts of South Africa is hard, but I lived in a middle class family where my mother and my father was like always behind me and just like always put me on the right path and things like that. So, and the friends that a lot of like gangsters and gangsterism and things like that. I was just focusing on my one thing, that my football and my schooling. So that's like just keep me like on the right path. And yeah, that's just the way it went. Yeah, so I was just focusing on soccer and my schooling and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good to hear. And if you could take us through your possibly like a daily life in South Africa for yourself, like what would you do during the day?
Like me, like during my schooling days, I used to just like wake up like 7 o'clock and go to school. When I come back from school like 2:30, and I will like go to training. I will like walk to training, and it's like 4 miles, and I would just like walk to training.
Wow.
And just like start training, and afterwards I would just like walk back. So most of my daily routine was just like go to school and afterwards go to training and come back and just with my family and things. Yeah, that was most like my daily routine. Or sometimes I would like come from training and sometimes just like keep balling the road with some of my friends. So that's how it was. Yeah. So I was just like mostly like active every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And if you could tell us around what age do you think that you fell in love with soccer?
I fell in love with soccer when I was like around about like 9 years old. When I just like, one of my friends just told me like, you come play for one of our soccer teams, like was in the area. He just invited me to like come play for them. And when I started like playing for them, I didn't know I like had that good touches with the ball and things like that.
Yeah.
So afterwards I like just started playing and things like that. So one of these coaches just told me like, you're a good player, man. Come play for us. So that's when I registered with the team, and then I just started playing, and I just took it from there, man. So I just started getting better and better when I was like playing every day. So that's how it just started, man. Yeah.
For sure. And then
a lot of coaches and my young friends, my friends also had like faith in me, like, you're a good player, man. Just keep it on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the first year, when I played for my team, my local, I got like player of the year, man. So that just boosted me to just like go forward, like take my soccer to the next level.
Yeah.
This is how it was. Yeah.
For sure. And then as a little kid, was soccer the sport that you played, or were there other sports that you played as well?
When I was young, and like when I was in primary school, I used to do athletics. So I used to like do hurdles, and I used to do sprints. Yeah, so I was an athletic guy, and I was like good in athletics. So I won like a lot of medals when I was like still running for my school and things like that. So my passion was like soccer, man.
Yeah. And then as a little kid from Mitchell's Plain, South Africa, did you ever imagine being in the position that you are now?
Sure, I never dreamt of being in this position, It's just like my family just encouraged me, and the coaches that I had and the people that was behind me, like trained me, they had like a lot of faith in me, like, shit, look here, you can go far one day, and you never know as a footballer, Because when you're young, you just want to like play to enjoy yourself. But they told me I can take it to the next level, this can be your passion, this can be your work one day, you know what I mean, like your dream. So just try to push yourself to the next level. That's how it was. Yeah. So I had a lot of people that encouraged me to do it. So that was a good thing for me, man. That kept me on the right path to just like go shoot it from there.
Most definitely. And how many languages do you speak?
I speak 2 languages, like English and Afrikaans. Afrikaans is like similar to Dutch. Yeah. So I understand a bit Dutch, but I don't like speak it. Yeah. Because some Afrikaans words is like Dutch. So I understand a bit, yeah.
Wow, okay. So possibly, almost 3, right?
Almost 3, yeah. Yeah.
And then were there any sacrifices that you had to go through to get to where you are now? And if so, could you explain?
Yeah, especially like sacrifice I had to do is like leaving my family behind, my friends and my family, You know, as a young boy going overseas is hard, man. You know, leaving your family. You know, you get homesick and things. But I'm so glad that my family was always there, like speaking to me like every day, like, look, Ethan, this is what you want, and just keep it up. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get this opportunity like every day. You know, so I gotta take it with both hands. You know, so. And especially not with my teammates that I played with at Vancouver, man. You know, when I went, I was like a young boy, like a lot of players was like, especially Nigel Wilcock and Andy and your Brian.
Yeah.
They were like, they like kept me under their wing, and they was like, every time I fell down, they were like, call me like, yo, Ethan, come chill here at my place, or, you know, come let's have lunch. And so that like kept me on, you know, not to like think about home a lot. So
Yeah.
I had like good guys around me just to like keep my head straight on what I'm focused on. Yeah.
For sure, yeah, and it's always good, you know, to have support from experienced more players, you know, that take you under their wings.
Yeah.
So like how you say, sometimes when you fall down and they pick you up, that's good. We know that South Africa played an important game this couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, against Libya. Did you watch the game, and were you happy that they qualified for the tournament in Egypt?
Actually, I didn't watch the game, but I saw the highlights and the what you call it of the game, the outcome of the game. But it was good for our nation, man. We needed that, you know, because we haven't like qualified for a major tournament in how many years, you know? Like the last one qualified was like 2013, I think. The African Cup of Nations, yeah. So it was actually good for our country, and hopefully we can do well in the tournament, you know. So maybe it's the generation of the young boys like coming up, you know.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do good, yeah.
For sure. And obviously, you played for the U17s and U20s for obviously your country. How was it representing your country, and how did it go when you played?
Yeah, I got selected when I was playing in like a tournament, like a major under 19 tournament in South Africa, in Cape Town, and that's where I got like played at the tournament when I was playing with ASD. So they selected me there, and then that feeling that I got like, yo, I'm gonna play for my national team was a good feeling, you know. That every player like dream of just like representing, putting that kit on the gear for your country is just an amazing feeling, man. And just to like play them and sing maybe the national anthem, it's just like it's a great feeling, man. I can't explain that feeling, but it's just a great like, you know, feeling like you can't just explain, man.
For sure. And then when you played, did you guys win some of the games? Like how did it go?
Yeah, we played like in some games we like played, and we played well because it was like a new team just coming together, like they selected players, so we did well in a couple of games, yeah, but some of the games we like played against like hard countries, so but at least we gave them a game about it, yeah, so it was good, man. Like the African country, you know, playing against the stuff countries, yeah, so it was good, yeah.
That's good. And obviously you're 25 years old. You're very young. I meant to say. Is your dream still to play for the national team of South Africa?
Yeah, of course. To put on that golden and green again, man. That's like a dream come true again to play for the national team, especially in major tournaments like this one coming up now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would love to like represent my country in a major tournament, you know, and make my family proud and my friends, you know. So yeah, I just gotta keep working on it, and just you never know when your chance might come, and just take it from there, yeah.
For sure. And then have you been in contact with the national team coach recently or possibly before to maybe get a call up to the team?
I haven't been like at the moment because I wasn't like playing for like 6 months since I left Ubuntu Cape Town. I haven't like played for 6 months, so I had to like get myself again into that rhythm, like start playing again, you know, get myself back on my feet again, yeah.
For sure.
So hopefully when I start like playing regularly, and hopefully my name will start popping up again, yeah.
For sure, and I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we will see you soon to play for South Africa.
Right.
And if you weren't a professional soccer player, Ethan, what would your profession be?
I would be like a firefighter, like a
Yeah.
When I was young, I was just like I like the firefighters. Like I would just always like sprinkle our gardens and things. So man. Because when I was young, I used to like when I was in school, they used to always tell me like, "What you want to be?" Like I always wanted to be a firefighter, and that was just my passion. I don't know why, but it was just my passion and things, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously you played for ASD Cape Town in South Africa, and then you go to the residency for the Vancouver 23. How did you get that connect to go to Vancouver?
There was one of the pastor guys that knew the coach that was there before.
Mm-hmm.
What's the coach's name? Martin Tyler, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was there. So he knew the coach. They were like friends from the church people. So they knew each other. And so one of these ASD connections just like asked him like, can I like come like there for trial and things?
Mm-hmm.
So he said, yeah, it's no problem when you can come, like, because it's like very like close friends and. And so when I went there and just like went for 2 weeks and I did well, man. That was the thing. I was like up against one of the best players, you know what I mean? Because my first time like experience playing against these guys, and I did well, man. And I was surprised.
Yeah.
And just after that, I played a match, and so the coach like just came to me like said, I want to like stay here and things. So I said, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took it from there. Yeah.
That's good. And then how was it experiencing? Was it difficult for you to move from continent to continent? Like, was it very difficult?
Yeah, it was difficult because of the time difference,
Mm-hmm.
and the different culture. So it's hard, especially with a young boy,
Yeah.
Because the only time I could like speak to my family was like in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
The time I must go train, that time is like night by them.
Yeah.
And when it's like vice versa, it's like when it's nighttime here, it's morning there. And
Yeah.
the time I can like only speak to them is that time I must like go to training and things, and I can only like speak to them maybe like for 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
So the best time for me was like when we have off days and I can be like all night awake and I can like speak to them.
Yeah.
And the culture, I mean, because I'm used to this culture in South Africa, like, I'm used to seeing like people walking around, like people doing bad things, I'm so used to seeing those things, and just come to Vancouver, it's like so
Different.
totally different, like so friendly, and things like that, man. Yeah, so I had to get like used to it and things like that, and I enjoyed it, man.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Coming to a culture that people is so friendly and it's so a clean place, you know what I mean, things like that. So it was a good experience for me.
For sure. And then what do you think, how you just mentioned, how you couldn't talk to your family as much as you probably wanted to. Do you think that was maybe the hardest thing that occurred to you?
Sure, that was one of the hardest things, I was so close to my family, and I didn't have that much time to like speak to them, so the only time I could like speak to them was like before I went to training, and I didn't have like a lot of time, so that's the thing that killed me the most, the time difference. So so I just had to get like used to it, and get into that rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I took it from there. I just got used to it, and because I told myself I'm here for one thing,
Yeah.
That was the main thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And then what was probably the most surprising thing that surprised you, obviously, in Vancouver?
Just the teammates, man.
Mm-hmm.
They were like so friendly, I thought when I come there, they're gonna think, who's this African guy, this young boy, like coming here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was so surprised. The people was like so friendly. The people around the coaching staff, they were like so magnificent, and
for sure,
they made me feel like welcome there.
Mm-hmm.
I felt welcome there and things like that, man. So that was just the main thing, man.
For
that
sure.
I got just used to everything, and I had to like settle in quick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's always good, that when people are very not only kind, but they bring you in, especially when you're coming from a different continent. You know everybody, but that's good that you had a good experience. If you could explain to us, how was it signing your first professional contract, and who did you call first to let know? Obviously,
I phoned my father, man, because he was always the one like there for me when I was young, watching all my games, and he knew that there was like something special in me, and the feeling I got, I couldn't explain it, man. I just my heart was like beating so fast, like finally it's happening, you know what I mean? I'm gonna do something love and I'm getting paid for it, you know what I mean? Things like that just crossed my mind, and I mean, this is like a big step, especially for my community, like where I come from, and you know what I mean? Like things like that just like popped up, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving my dream now, so I just gotta make the most of it and just make my family, my friends proud.
For sure,
most definitely. My main thing.
Yeah. And then also, if you could talk to us, about making your professional debut against the DC United. How were you nervous? What did your teammates tell you? To calm you down if you were nervous? How was it?
Yeah. Actually, I was a bit nervous because before the game, we like trained Friday, and so the coach like came to me, he's like told me, look here, you're gonna start tomorrow. So that's when my blood just started getting warm, and like, finally it's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah.
And we was just guiding me a lot, like, and your Brian just told me, look here, just play a normal game, like I do in training every day, just play my normal game, like, you know. And he like, before the pre-match meal, he like called me, man, like, Ethan, come have pre-match meal with me, like, you see, and your Brian, like, you know what I mean? Because you know I'm like nervous, what am I gonna eat and things like that. So he like just called me and like said, look, Ethan, come, let's have something together. So he just like calmed my nerves a bit, you know, and just like kept me on his wing. And during the game, he was just like just talking to me, communicating to me a lot, and just like let me focus a lot, because, you know, as a young boy, like starting, you know, you're not gonna focus like for the whole 90 minutes, you know. So he was like there, just he was just like there, like keeping me on the right path, like telling me what to do, just do the basics, you know, get the ball and play and things like that. But I think I did well on my debut.
Yeah, that's good. And then if you could explain to us, how was your overall experience in Vancouver?
Overall experience was amazing, man. Like I told you, like the culture, the nightlife is so different. Like, you know what I mean? You can go walk here, like you can walk any time of the night outside, man. People do nothing to you, you know what I mean? It's like so friendly. Like, I enjoyed my time there with my teammates and my friends, man. It was such a nice experience for me. I'll never forget it, man.
That's good. And then if you could explain to us, you know, what happened to you after Vancouver? Because the latest that I knew is that you signed with Ubuntu in South Africa. But if you could explain to us what happened after your time in Vancouver.
This was like this agency things, like, you know what I mean? Because if you go back to South Africa, the agency get like small money and things, you know what I mean? But I was just a conflict between me and my agent that broke the whole like situation, because Vancouver wanted to sign me again, and because I mean I came through the junior program, like PDL and things like that, so they show like a future in me, you know, for the club and things like that. But it was just between the agency and things like that what you call it, broke the whole thing down.
Yeah. And then did you see yourself at such a young age to return back to your home country and play?
Not actually, man, because I thought, look here, when I signed with Vancouver, I thought maybe like this is my time, you know, to shine, you know, not to go back home, because I know I would ease back home and things like that, tough and things like that. So when I went back home, I just thought to myself, like, sure, I'm not back in the situation now, you know. What must I do now again, you know, to get again there, you know?
Yeah.
Because they like knew me, you know, back there, and in South Africa the clubs didn't like know me a lot because I went young overseas, you see. So I'm just like, I told myself I just need to keep in contact with my people back in Vancouver, and I just keep working hard, so maybe the opportunity will come again. So I would just like keep working hard and just like pray, like maybe the opportunity will come again, you know, and finally it arrived, man, and just came again.
For sure. And then obviously, if you could explain to us, how was it playing for your last club, Ubuntu, in South Africa? How was your overall experience playing there?
You know, coming back from that standard in the MLS and coming back to South Africa, you know, the standard is a big difference, man. It's just coming back, you know, and the mindset of the players is like so different, you know, because whenever I train, the players not like so focused, like in the MLS, the players like so focused, like coming to work and things like that. It's just like in South Africa, some of the players were just like, you know, they're just here to just collect the paycheck, and you know what I mean. And if they come, they play a game, they just win, and it was just like wasn't like so focused on how it was in the MLS, you know what I mean? Like playing overseas. So I took my standards and just dropped to their standards, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't care anymore, you know, I'm just playing it. Just for something, you know. Yeah, so that was just my mindset I had to like get out of, you know, and I'm so glad I'm out of that mindset now, you know. Yeah, because that is like a bad thing for players, man, you know.
Most definitely. And then obviously, if you could tell us, you know, what are your dreams that you still want to accomplish?
You know, hopefully to like play a game in the MLS or maybe play in Europe, you know, because that's the main thing where players always want to play in Europe at the bigger stage, Champions League, or you know what I mean. So hopefully maybe in the MLS again, because I experienced there, and Hopefully the bigger one is in the Europe, man. The big guns.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I wish you the best of luck, because you are a good defender, so I wish you the best of luck with that. And for sure. And if you could tell us, do you have any rituals before a game? Do you pray? Do you eat something in particular? Do you talk to somebody before a game? Any ritual?
Yeah, I mostly like pray because I'm a Christian, so I pray a lot, you know what I mean? Because before the game, before I go on the game, without our creator, he's the one that's giving us this opportunity and just to let us go on that field, Always like pray while I speak to my father and my mother just to like give me that extra, boost.
Yeah.
Like to know what I'm doing it for who am I doing it for, you know what I mean? Because he's the one that gave me this talent and brought me this far, and can take me much further.
Most definitely.
And my fiance, she's also the one that encouraged me a lot,
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good that you have support. You're obviously a right back. Who do you think? Correct, you are a right back, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think is the best right back in history of South Africa for soccer?
In South Africa, let me just now think back now. Who's this? For me, who's this now? Bryce Moon. There's another guy that used to play for South Africa, but he retired now. He was one of a good like wing back, going up and down. So I admire him as a right back, man, because he was like attacking fullback, like putting a lot of crosses in. And he played also in Europe, like in Greece and things like that.
Wow.
Bryce Moon. That's his name. Yeah.
For sure. And like, did you ever look up to him? To possibly be like him as a little kid?
Yeah, I watched him play a lot because he played at Ajax Cape, so I watched him a lot, his movement, and you know what I mean. Like I took a lot of like notes from him, so I looked a lot like up to him and things like that. Yeah, because he was a good like fullback for me. Yeah,
for sure.
Because he was like a similar player like I am now. Yeah,
for sure. And then obviously you've played many games as a professional. Could you name one that's possibly your favorite?
Like when we played against FC Dallas in the playoffs, 2014. Yeah, that was like one of my best games, man. Like I played against one of the best players. I don't know if you know that, Fabian Castello.
Yeah, el colombiano.
He used to play. Yeah, the Colombian. Yeah, I played so well. I didn't know he was that one of the best players in the MLS, and I played so well against him. Like he even got he pulled the muscle, man. Wow. I took him out of the game. Yeah.
And then was he? Obviously, he was tough because he's extremely fast.
Yeah, he's fast, yeah, but the thing is, man, I didn't still think about all those things. I was just thinking I'm just here to do one job and just to defend and things like that. And I did it well, because I didn't know he was that good,
Yeah.
Because my coaches and players didn't tell me that I must watch this guy, and I just took it at he's a normal player, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna do what I can do, yeah.
For sure.
I was just like that.
For sure. And then could you possibly name a hardest game that possibly you got, you were in playoffs, you maybe lost, extra times, penalties? Any hardest game?
In my career.
Yeah, in your career.
It was also against it's FC Dallas, but it was in a league game.
Yeah.
We led them 1-0 whole game, and afterwards they just scored 2 late goals, man. Yeah, at the end. Perez, I don't know if you know that guy.
Perez from where?
Which country? I think it's Panama, I think.
Perez. Oh, Blas Panama. Perez. Yeah, Blas Perez. Yeah.
Yeah, Blas. Yeah, but he don't play with him anymore. Yeah, yeah, the tall guy. Yeah. And he was like what you call a guy he likes to get in your face. You know what I mean? To speak a lot of shit. Nonsense and things like that. Yeah. He was like that guy, man. He tried to get into your head a lot. Yeah.
For sure. And then obviously the next question would be who do you possibly think or is the hardest forward to stop? Would it be Blas Perez or someone else?
The hardest forward that I played against?
Yeah. Anywhere.
I think it was Nagby.
Darlington.
Nagby
from Nigeria.
Yeah, we played against him in a preseason game, before the MLS game. But that guy was just up and down,
Yeah.
But I did a good job on him, yeah. But for me, it was one of the toughest players I played against, because he was so tricky with the ball and things, running with the ball.
Yeah.
And it was so difficult to mark him. Yeah, I got like sometimes confused, because he's so good with his body movements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And then obviously you're still young, you still have a lot more to give in soccer, but after you retire, do you plan on becoming possibly a coach or scout?
Maybe like a agent or something.
An agent.
I wanna like give back. I wanna like give back to players. I wanna show them the experience that I had and just open doors for them. You know what I mean? Like things like that. That's why I'm like keeping all my contacts and connections and things together. So hopefully I can like guide the player, like
Young South Africans.
To fulfill his dream one day. Yeah.
That's always good, to give back and to give an opportunity to a young kid to, that possibly wouldn't have had the opportunity, But I wish you the best of luck in that.
Thanks, man.
For sure. And then could you tell us something that we don't know about Ethen Sampson?
Like me, I like taking my dogs for a walk, man. That's my main thing,
Yeah.
That's where, and sometimes I like playing with my dogs, like soccer and things, and like tackling my dogs. That's why I like to tackle hard and things. Because my dog like bites the ball, and then I will like kick the ball out of his mouth and things like that. So that's where I get some of my aggression from.
For sure. And any hobbies of yours, Ethen?
I like to like play tennis and table tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and shoot pool. I don't even know shooting pool.
Oh yeah.
Like snooker. Yeah, that's what I like to do. Yeah.
For sure.
In my, like free time and things like that.
Yeah. Is Rafael Nadal your favorite tennis player or Djokovic?
No, Nadal.
The
Spanish guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he's extremely good. What do you like to do in your free time? Walking your dog?
In my free time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like walking my dog, like spending time with my family. You know what I mean? Like just like to catch up with them, and just mostly like spending time with my family and things. Was when you've been so long away and just seeing them again is amazing. Yeah, especially like being on one side of the continent, on the other side is hard, man.
I bet.
So most of the time I like spend time with my family, my fiance, and my dogs, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then if you could tell us, the best player that you've seen with or against any player.
Like I seen with, I didn't play this game, but it was the best player that I seen play. Like it was Frank Lampard.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I watched one of the games when they played against Vancouver. He was like so good, man. Like, the way he runs to the ball, like, he was like so strong on the ball. You could see this guy played against big players, man. And the way he still scored against us, man. And his movement off the ball was so good. Yeah, so it was good, like, watching this guy, like, live, like,
Yeah.
I didn't play, but to watch him play, it was so amazing.
For sure. Did you talk to him after the game or no?
I didn't like speak to him. I just like took a photo with him, because he just like took a photo with guys and just left. Yeah.
For sure. And obviously you're African, Ethen, specifically South African. But what do you think, African teams need to do better in the World Cup? Because we saw that Senegal, Nigeria, even Tunisia and Egypt and Morocco did extremely well, but none of the teams could qualify or did enough to qualify to the next round. But what do you think African teams need to do to qualify to the next round?
I just think the African players need to have that like a European mentality. You know what I mean? Now the guys are like on the field. They're going out there to represent the country and the people that is behind the back. You know what I mean? That's the main thing, and the family that they're playing for. They're not just playing for themselves. They're playing for the country and for the nation. That's just the mindset, and especially like some African players, they need, like I said, they need to have that mindset like the Europeans, like. They're playing here for this can be your last World Cup, you never know what can happen. So they have that mindset, like, this is my last World Cup, I gotta give it all, and just like play the best, man, because this is like the country that they're representing, and they need to just give it all.
Huge responsibility.
Things like that. Yeah, and abuse responsibility, because the whole country is behind them, man. So they have to just like give it them all, because I mean, not even one African country like came past the quarterfinals, and that is like And there's so many good players like
An
playing.
insane amount of talent.
You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot, man. Because if they play for the clubs, they have a different mentality. Because if they play for the national team, because you see, there's a lot of African players like retire from young because they know they come back to you. You know, especially like Victor Moses. You know what I mean? He's still a young boy and he retired from Nigeria.
Yeah.
You see, things like that. The mentality they have for the national team is not the same like they have for the clubs because they don't care, man. You know, they have that careless attitude, man. Like I don't care. You know, I'm just going there just for the caps or you know,
for sure.
For the
And then do you also think too, you know, like African players that are born in Africa but decide to represent a different country? Like even in the case of Nagby, you know, he was born in Liberia but decided to play for the United States. And even Umtiti, who plays for Barca, born in Cameroon but decides to play for France. Do you think, you know, that could be a factor, you know, that takes away the talent from Africa?
Yeah, surely, man. Because, you know, there's a lot of like African players that is playing for European countries, you know, like especially the French team, you know, there's a lot like
from
Senegal and
literally.
That's also like I know that like takes a lot away from the, you know, because like I told you, man, if the guys is like there's better opportunities like to play for the European, because there's a bigger chance that they could, you know, progress through to the World Cup or maybe win the World Cup, you know. That's why a lot of African players would rather just choose a European country over their own nationality where they've been born.
For sure,
because
even
that is just their mindset,
Yeah, I completely agree because even Patrick Vieira and Patrice Evra, they were born in Senegal, you know, like imagine if they would have played for them, you know, like what difference it would have made. But I mean, hopefully there are more players in Africa that are born there and represent their country. And now getting to New Mexico United, you know, now 2019. How did you get in contact with New Mexico United, who is a new team in the USL?
You know, the Choi, our coach, he was, when I was at Vancouver, he used to like, it was pre-season 2014, so Choi, he was like the assistant coach at Charleston, Battery, also a USL team. So he like came over to watch our pre-season games, like, and our training sessions, just to like learn off Carl Robertson, like training sessions. And so he saw me there. And so I did well in pre-season that game, in the games and in training. So he was like, yo, let this boy like, can't he like come on loan to Charleston, you know what I mean? And so Carl Robertson, he was like, no, this guy can like break anytime into the first team. And so from there, he just kept in contact with me every time, you know, because they were like, they wanted me to like come on loan to Charleston, but Vancouver just didn't want me to go because they knew I can like break anytime. And so I broke into the first team, And so afterwards, Troy was just a guy like texts me every time, like, how you doing, you know, how's the football going, you know. Just a guy like keeping up to date with me in my soccer because, you know, he saw me like what I can do, you know. So he just kept in contact with me, and solely because he knew that he might surely coach a team. So so when I was back home, he like still texted me like, Ethan, hey, where you playing now, or you know, just to like keep it up to date with me. So I like told him like I'm back home, like actually I'm gonna coach New Mexico, a new team. So can't you like come over here, you know what I mean? But they haven't seen me like in like 4-5 years, so I had to like prove myself again to him. You know what I mean? Like, because he knew what I can do, but I just had to like prove myself again to him what I can do. And so I just flew down and came for trial, just for 1 week, and he just liked me from there, man. He said I'm still like my old self.
For sure. And that's good that he gave you the opportunity. And then obviously you signed with New Mexico United. But were there any other offers from different clubs that you had?
Not because I haven't like played for 6 months since I left Ubuntu. I haven't like played, so I was just like training and keeping fit, you know what I mean? And so this opportunity came from New Mexico, man. So I'm like, sure, it was a big opportunity again, you know, to get myself again on the platform and just to get myself again on my feet. So I just took this opportunity, man. I didn't still think about other opportunities. I was just thinking I want to go back, you know.
That's good. And what are your expectations for the season? You know, unfortunately, if I'm not wrong, you're injured right now, but obviously the team is doing exceptionally good for their first season.
Man. I'm just ambitions for the just to like just to like hopefully make the playoffs. That's like the main thing for the first year. Like make the playoffs and win most of our home games because the fans here they love it, man. Because that it wasn't like soccer here in the city, so they like love the soccer here, man. The stadiums is always full, so win as many home games as you can and just like make the playoffs, man. That's the main things.
For sure. And then how is the And then how is the environment with the team in the locker room and training ground as well?
No, man, it's like I was so surprised. Like I mean, it's like similar to Vancouver, man. The guys are like friendly, you know what I mean? Like they don't care from where you're from or what background you have. They're like so friendly. They will like speak to you like us, you know what I mean? Like us, how are you doing? And sometimes after training, the guys are like gonna go out to maybe have lunch or things like that, man.
Yeah.
And some clubs you don't even get that. Some guys just go to training, come back, and afterwards they do their own thing,
Yeah.
But we're like a family here. We like unity because we're united.
Yeah.
Guys like so together and close. Yeah. Like we know a lot of things about each other, man.
Yeah, that's always good. That you could, even apart from soccer off the field, that you could have a connection with players. That's always good. Yeah. Obviously, you've seen what the other players wear in the locker room. Who do you think probably has like possibly the worst fashion right now?
As for me, it's Goss. This is one of our local boys from New Mexico. Man.
Oh, Josh Suggs, the Josh Suggs.
Yeah, Josh Goss. Not Josh Suggs, Josh Goss.
Okay, a different Josh.
Goss, yeah, the left-footed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the local guys from New Mexico, man. He just like a old father, man. I gotta pick a kid up at the school, man.
Wow, for sure.
Yeah.
And then who do you think probably has the best style? Yourself?
No, not actually me. For me, I'll give it to Brucey, Daniel Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just an England guy. He's just like the European style with the nice coats and you know what I mean.
Yeah. Suited, really good.
Just the European style. Yeah.
For sure. And then who do you think from the various clubs that you've played for, who do you think has been your best teammate?
My best teammate has been like I said, Nigel Wilcoker and Daniel Bryant. They just been there for me, since the bad days. They've been there, like comfort me, like since day one. They just like been there, like mentor me and comfort me through a lot of things, man. So I take my hat off for them,
For sure.
Because if it wasn't for them, I would surely like be homesick, like go home, like before the time I left, Yeah.
And are you still in contact with them?
Yeah, I still like speak to them a lot. Yeah.
That's good. And what advice would you give to little kids, that want to become a professional player like yourself?
Like I said, man, just like go for your passion. If you love football, like you mustn't like think a lot, especially about the money. Just like play football because those things will come, and just like enjoy yourself. Like the main thing is just to enjoy yourself, especially when you're playing football and just like you gotta make sacrifices if you want to become successful. So that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Sacrifices and just enjoy the football. And I don't think a lot about the fancy things that comes afterwards. Those things come and go. The main thing is just to enjoy football and just make a name for yourself for it, because you like marketing yourself playing football. So just enjoy it and play to the fullest, man. The ability that you have, yeah.
For sure. And where do you see yourself in 3 years?
My 3 years, just being a better person and surely like being a better footballer, you know what I mean? Like taking another step maybe in my career or things like that. So hopefully back in the MLS, like I said, or in Europe, yeah. So that's the things that hopefully I see myself in the next 3 years, yeah.
For sure. And then to finalize the interview, Ethen, you just mentioned that possibly the MLS is a league that you would want to play for. But what is there a specific league in Europe that you would like to play for?
It's England, that's
UPL.
That's where, Premier League, that's where everything is, like the big guns and the best football is being playing there, and the tough guys that's England or Spain, one of the two, yeah. But England for the best part, man. Because that's where you like get all the knocks and you're worth your while.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, Ethen, I want to thank you, for taking your time out of your day for doing this for me. I really appreciate it. I wish you the best of luck in your recuperation
Thanks,
from
man.
your injury. I wish you the best of luck with New Mexico. Hopefully, you guys will make the playoffs, and I cannot wait to see you play for South Africa very, very soon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Ron, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the interview. I appreciate it.
For sure, man. Take care.
Thanks, you too, man. Bye.
That's it. So thank you for watching my video. If you guys could share it with your family members and friends, that would be much appreciated. To all the people around the world who watch my videos, thank you so much. If you could like and subscribe to my channel, I would love that a lot. Until next time, thank you.